Hey guys, it's Coach Mix. We're gonna stay quarantine fit, I guess. And I wanted to upload some of the lifts that I use to keep fit and strong for some of the sports that I participate in, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and kickboxing and stuff like that. So this is my little garage workout facility, so welcome. And I wanted to take you quickly through the equipment that I use. It's really basic and anybody can get it. These are bumper plates. It's a bumper plate setup with a weightlifting bar or Olympic weightlifting bar. I think my setup right here cost about 300 bucks. So if you don't have it now, whenever you get your Corona stimulus check, run out and get a setup. So what's great about bumper plates is you can pick them up and drop them without damaging the weight or damaging the flooring. You can do this in your home. I've had this set up in apartments. Sometimes I buy little mats that I put underneath them at anywhere like Target. But that's it. And then sometimes you can use the weights like we do to mark where our car tires stop. So it's another little additional benefit. So anyway, we're going through the deadlift. I'm going to show you 3 lifts that I use that I think are really important. This is the deadlift. Then it's going to be the clean and squat. So, and I don't use the squat rack, as you maybe can see. I just do it all straight from the ground, which I think is also helpful. And there is something magical and just power producing from gripping a bar, a metal bar. There's something about that, in my experience, that is very different than dumbbells or cable weights or any of that stuff. So anyway, we're gonna go over the deadlift. The lifts that we're going over can get really, really technical, and you can spend your whole life learning the very intricate aspects of the technique, but this is gonna be kind of a beginner's course. So I'm gonna keep it basic and just tell you the really important pieces from my perspective. So let's get into it. So the deadlift is a great overall body lift. It's super valuable and just really gets you strong pretty quickly. It is important though to keep, most importantly, your spine in alignment, not to curve your spine over to try and pull that lift up. That is the most egregious sin in deadlifting is curling your spine. That's what we want to avoid at all costs. We want to keep really good spine alignment, really drive into the floor, engaging our quads, engaging our hamstrings, glutes. It's a really powerful overall body, core kind of lift, arms, traps, kind of everything. You'll notice I'm not using a weight belt, which I have over here. Me and a lot of other people think that you shouldn't use a weight belt until you get really heavy with the weight. This is a big core developer, and so you're going to lose out on a lot of the core benefits in developing a strong core, which is useful for everything, if you start putting on a weight belt too early. So I think it's really important to keep the weight light to moderate and have really great technique and not necessarily use a weight belt. I've got these neoprene 7mm rock tape sleeves, which I'm going to be using for the squats, and then I use wrist guards, and that's going to be for the cleans, not for this deadlift. I just have them on right now. So let's get into it. So I prefer a traditional over-under grip. My stance is like about shoulder width. I do a little wide, slightly wider. I'm a bigger guy, and it's just I don't have quite the hip and ankle flexibility to do a narrower stance. You might, you can be too narrow. I wouldn't be inside kind of your hips. I'd be slightly on the outside. There is a sumo style of this lift. We're not going into that, but I'm just showing you like how a traditional setup is. So feet, just in my case, about shoulder, I have broad shoulders, so about shoulder width apart. And then I've got these 2 marker lines. I'm going to be going on the inside line so that I know that I have like perfect sort of balanced distance with my hands on the lift. Here, I'm gonna have my arms extended. This is gonna be, mentally, I'm gonna be looking to drive this lift with my legs primarily, although of course my shoulders, back are really gonna be utilized in this lift. Critically, again, like I said to begin with, spinal alignment is the key. So if you can see me without it, I'm gonna be dropping to the lift. You can see my back is kind of flat or plane, but as I start the lift, I'm gonna drop my hips. And I'm consciously thinking of spinal alignment as I'm driving with my legs and feet to push myself up from the ground. So again, over under grip, we're not going to be hook gripping or using wraps or straps to hook onto the bar, which robs us of developing strong forearms. And again, if you're gonna lift 1,000 pounds, do a 1,000-pound deadlift, you're gonna wanna use those things. But for the rest of us, just a regular grip is gonna be just fine and preferred. So again, I'm gonna be pulling this weight up as close to my body as possible, starting just over the top of my shoelaces here. Again, I'm extending my arms, now I'm gonna drop. I see my hips are up, but now I'm gonna drop in as I start to pull the weight up. I do a spinal alignment. I like to go like about 4 feet out, keep my eyes like in this neutral plane as I start to lift. So here we go. Here's the top of the lift, little pause, up. And that's the deadlift.